Yo. You already know, man, when you hear the voice, you made the right choice. It is your boy in the building, man, Frank Nitty, your host of the Texans Zone 3 podcast show. You already know. We about to talk big Texans talk today. You already know what time it is, man. Week 5, man. We done made it. Man, these games are going by pretty fast, y'all. But, man, we in week 5, man. We going to take on them Ravens. And, we got some good week 5 predictions, but y'all know I cannot do it without my gang, man. Shout out Patton, man. He's not going to be able to make the show today. But y'all know, man, hold on. Let me activate the draft guard right quick, even though he ain't here.
Draft guard activated.
Definitely activated, man. But y'all know, man, I got my guy, man. I got my guy in the building, man. Killer Cal, man.
What's happening?
What's happening? You know what I'm saying? It's going down, man. Big Texas talk, man. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Hey, man, that's what I like to hear, man. And y'all already know, man, it's a Friday, and normally we don't have the doc. But today, we got the doc in the building.
The doctor.
You know what time it is?
It's going down.
Hey, H-Time, it is going down in a major way, man. How you doing, Larry?
Well, thank you guys for having me on again. It's just good to chop it up and have good Texans therapy, man. This team has had us with some highs and lows this year, but I'm still swarming. My swarm is injured, but I think I can give it another shot this week.
I think I done relaxed. I think I think after that 0-3 and finally winning one, I think I can relax. I'm a little bit more, into talking about the Texans because I know last couple of weeks, man, y'all done heard me probably get out of character about my team, but hey, after seeing that game, it's a lot of hope. And I just hope it's not that displaced hope where, because I'm telling y'all, I really despise when, a team goes against a team that's really not that good. But we had the same record as them, so I guess we ain't that good neither. But so you go against a certain team and you demolish them and I can't really say we demolished them. It just seemed like we came alive in that fourth quarter and started doing things that we should have been doing. And I think, the audibles, we talked about it early in the week, but the audibles that CJ was able to call, that D'Amico called out specifically and said that he was able to do that. I think that we're going to see a lot more of that. And I'm like I said, man, I'm a little bit more, relaxed and cool about, the state of the organization and where we're going forward. You know what I'm saying? We're about to play a Ravens team that's pretty beat up. I'm talking about, man, those guys are beat up over there. That's to say the least. I mean, a lot of their star players won't be playing, but guess what? It doesn't matter who puts on the jersey. It's about the jersey, and hey, we going out there to get us a dub, man. How y'all boys feeling about that?
But hey, let's open it up with this, Nitty. Shout out to Doc Payton. Your contributions, very well felt, man. And so, hey, Nitty, we started off with this, man. Hey, welcome back to the Houston Texans on 3 fans. Your weekly dose of Texan smoke, hard truths, and a lot of emotional takes. Still running purely on adrenaline from Sunday, and honestly, if you see smoke coming from my ears, it's just the residual heat from this defensive performance. We're here to talk about week 4. But let's start with the beautiful, unbelievable truth. D'Amico Ryans and Matt Burke. Defense hung a massive, gorgeous goose egg on the scoreboard. A shutout defense. They flew around, they swarmed, they pressured relentlessly. And they look like an entirely different championship caliber unit. Will Anderson Jr. is officially playing like the defensive rookie of the year we drafted him to be. That's a major victory. But let's be real. The beautiful, anxious fans, that defense had to pitch a shutout because our offensive struggles still painfully obvious. We stall. We settle for field goals. And we know we left points on the field. We're relying on the defense to carry a massive load right now, which is exactly why the rookie success of CJ Stroud is so impressive.
Mhm.
Despite the lack of consistency around him, made a few smart decisions, throwing on time with poise. He is learning. He is growing in an NE game offense. Any New England. Now we pivot to this week. We have a physical bruising AFC heavyweight Baltimore Ravens. This was supposed to be a true gut check game, a measuring stick for this young team. But here is the news that challenged everything. The Ravens are injured. Their identity, their star, the dynamic signal caller, Lamar Jackson, is out, along with key pieces on their defense. This is a gift, folks, but it's a dangerous gift. Cannot be complacent. This is the moment. This is the test. Can the Texans offense finally translate those yards into touchdowns against a vulnerable opponent? Can our defense dominate a backup quarterback and prove last week fourth quarter wasn't a fluke? What you say, fellas?
Preach, preach. Oh yeah, and I want to talk about C.J. Stroud. Um, I think that there is a narrative amongst the Texans fan community, and rightfully so. CJ hadn't played like he did in his rookie year, but he's getting a lot of heat, and we all as fans, we should have a critical eye, but we can't forget that this gentleman is a franchise quarterback. He was the number 2 overall pick, and he showed you all the skills needed to be a true franchise quarterback. But you can't do it by yourself. He needs help. We saw this week, just in some tweaks to personnel, the offense did have some success in the fourth quarter by Woody Marks getting more touches. Dare, Damian Pierce not playing for the last 2 games. That
Mhm.
makes a big difference to your offense. Getting those rookies some touches just to put it on film so the other team has something to look at. People making some plays. Dalton Schultz playing with some effort. Nico Collins with a big catch. It can't just be CJ out there with the offensive line that is had some struggles, but they're fighting, trying to do their best. But CJ can't do it all. And I just want to shout out to the fan community to keep up the critical eye, but let's remember what it's like not to have a franchise quarterback. Davis Mills, people were calling for him to come in the game. That's not a realistic approach to winning football. Tyrod Taylor, um, goodness, the list goes on of quarterbacks that are not franchise and underestimate what it takes to win in the league.
Mhm.
So let's just be realistic, fan community. Come on, we gotta support CJ, treat him critical, but know
Okay,
that he needs some help.
I want to say this. I want to say this, Doc, because I want to be able to look out for both sides of the fans. And even though I don't feel like this, I do want to say that I do understand, certain fans holding, CJ accountable because we have seen it. We've seen a quarterback come in his rookie year, play good or play somewhat good, and then just fall off a cliff. We're not saying CJ fell off a cliff or anything, but there are some fans who think like that, and we understand because of the way he looks out there. Sometimes I was looking at some plays. It was actually on a Woody Marks highlight reel where somebody was showing some Woody Marks highlights, and I was watching CJ's demeanor on the field, and I want to bring this up too because listening to him in the press conference today, I won't say the press conference was today, but I heard it today where he was talking about his diet and stuff like that, right? And I'm gonna be honest, I did not like the way he was talking. Um, uh, uh, And I know, like you say, Doc, he's a franchise quarterback. Well, a franchise quarterback, I don't feel like it's two things he said that just rubbed me the wrong way. One of them was that he says that he feels like he's getting old. Bro, you 23 years old. There's no way in the world you should be
He had a
feeling.
birthday today.
Yeah, like you should be feeling like you getting old. So what? He 24 now.
24.
Bro, hey, what I would do to be 24 again. Hey, you not old, but I understand what he's saying though. I'm not trying to say like I totally don't get what he's saying. He's saying that when he was younger, around 18, he felt more faster because he was 180 pounds. Well, according to sports, right? You should be working out more, right? You should be bigger and have more muscles than you did then, and you should be able to move around better. It's just the way sometimes CJ talks. It's a little like if I put the word mopey would kind of fit him. And I think that's what throws people off. CJ goes to that mic and he just like, yeah, I just gotta, stop eating. And, that's been a problem with, working on eating and stuff and, cursing. And I gotta stop cursing. That's something that I've been trying to work on. Boy, you say that every season, bro. When you gonna get this cursing thing out the way, bro, to where you stop saying this on, like, to me, I just want CJ to be a little bit more button up. Like it's like he a little just, and I don't know if that's just the YN.
I think he answered questions.
More smug, man. I know he's honest. He's super honest, Cam, but that might
Mhm.
be the problem. I don't need
That
him.
is it's only a problem to the people that points it out because
I
I
don't
don't
need
care what you say behind the microphone. I need to see the results on the field.
exactly. But look at if he's
Yeah.
talking mopey and his results on the field is looking mopey. It's like, come on, bro. And see, that's the point that I was talking about the Woody Marks highlights. When I watch those, man, I'm watching CJ do some of those handoffs and shit. And I know I might be nitpicking, but that's why they call me Frank Nitty. Hey, I'm telling y'all, just go back and look at that. Bro just looks so lackadaisical the way he hands off a ball and steps to the side. It doesn't look uniform, man. It's like it looks it's not sharp. I need CJ to be back sharp because I promise y'all, if y'all remember year one when we got CJ, and look, I don't have no fetish about no feet at all. But I've never talked about feet so much when I was talking about CJ in his first year. The man's feet was ridiculous. I'm talking about at the combine. Go back and look at his combine and watch how CJ, his game is really set on his his foot placement. Wherever his feet are, and he gets in the right position, CJ is gonna throw a perfect ball every time. That's why his being in the pocket is so important. But I just think he need to get back to that, y'all. And I feel what you're saying, Cal, but I just want him to be a little bit more uniform. Am I tripping when I say that though? Like, I just want him to be a little bit more like he's being too honest. I need him to hold some things back. I need him to be more like how D'Amico is. D'Amico don't be honest all the way like that. D'Amico gonna keep things uniform
But
and tell you what you need to know.
Yeah, Brandon saying the bull ring CJ is oversharing. And yeah, I think he does. You remember he also won a media player of the year because of how well the media liked him and how he always answered all their questions. So that's probably going to continue.
Yeah. Bro go tell us he had a stomach ache. Like, yeah, y'all, I had ate some Triple J's, you know what I'm saying, and the Ravens fry. Oh shoots. That's and I ain't even pun intended though, but yeah, shout out Triple J's, man. They got the Raven fries over there. I don't know why they call them Raven fries, but I might get me some this weekend, man, because we gonna be eating up some we eating Ravens this weekend, pause. But man, y'all boys give me some predictions, man, of what are y'all looking for in this game. Everybody talking about the rookies. Like what are y'all looking for? What are y'all looking forward to in this matchup? Because I mean, we should win, right? And let me say this. I want to start off with this. Harbaugh says that this is a get right game for the Ravens. This is a get back game. I mean, get right game. So if this is a get right game, how do you, I mean what? I mean, how is Harbaugh looking at us?
I
Like with the
mean, yeah, I mean, he beat us every chance that he got. So, I mean, I wouldn't have respect for this team. Like, he's seen CJ, he coached against D'Amico. Like, okay. I mean, he can go out there with the injuries. And see, right now, that team is playing with nothing to lose, but everything to gain. You know, they only won one game, and this game could potentially put them completely out the running. I mean, seriously,
Yeah, they said they
because
lose this game, their season over.
possibly
Possibly, but
because
the Ravens are looking at it like that. They honestly think
right.
they lose this
So
game, their season.
so I mean, why if I'm looking at the Texas offense, I mean, it's not like their defense, the Ravens defense, been setting it on fire because they probably like last place in a lot of categories.
Mhm.
But you know, it's going to be a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. But Ricard, they fullback, he's out.
Mm,
So
damn.
they're going to be leaning on Derrick Henry. But I told you on Tuesday's podcast, the person that's going to be able to stop Derrick Henry is CJ Stroud. Because just like me and Doc was talking earlier, like those first 15 plays, the first and second quarter, is going to determine the way that the Ravens is going to call the game third and fourth quarter. Meaning, if the Texans go out and score on their drives, play clean football, no, you know, minimize the penalties, you know, get sixes instead of threes. Halftime has to be a double digit touchdown lead or more. You're going to eliminate Derrick Henry because in the third and fourth quarter, they're going to have to go to Cooper Rush. Todd Monken is going to have to dial up passing plays for the wide receivers that he have. D'Amico can wide nine with our two monsters on the end, and the secondary can go out and feast and have one of those 4 or 5 interception games, 3 or 4 sack games, and you know we'll call a ball game. But CJ has to play a clean game. Get the play call in, get out the huddle. If the communication is not in the helmet, go ahead and call the plays because you changed up. You know, you call the touchdown play on the audible. D'Amico gave you the credit, so evidently, you know, you're learning this offense.
It's going to be more.
So yeah, it should be a more that you should see more of Higgins. You should see more of Higgins. You should see more targets to uh my boy Nico Collins. Well, you
Mm.
know you're gonna get a you should get a heavy dose of Woody Marks. But as I friendly argue with Nitty, you're still gonna have to start with Chubb. Let Chubb get his legs running, you know, 4 or 5 yards a carry. You keep the rotation going, and you just work in Woody Marks. So I just feel like at halftime, we should be looking at 23-0, 20-3, 27-6, like a halftime score, and Derrick Henry would not be a factor in this
Can I ask you
game.
this question right quick, Killer?
Yes, sir.
When do you give it to Woody Marks? When do you give the RB1 and just let him start? When do you do it? I understand what you're saying about Chubb, but when in Woody Marks' career do you allow Woody to be RB1? Is it next year?
No, I just see that Nick Chubb is still averaging over 4 yards a carry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So in this league, you still need two running backs. You know, so if Woody Marks get those carries, Woody Marks has younger legs. He's a change of pace back, even though he's not a speed back,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see the pace changes. If you put Woody Marks in the game and Chubb is not getting that early rhythm, because that's how he was established in Cleveland.
Hey,
I don't know.
Did Woody win rookie of the week,
Rookie, yeah, he won Rookie of the Week. Yeah.
We got to give him them props. But go ahead, Killer.
Yeah. So my thing is, if it worked last week, keep going. Like if Chubb come out there, you give him the first 4 or 5 carries, and if it's 5 carries for 16 yards, yeah, you go to Woody, and then you go back to Chubb for a couple of carries and see what Woody have. And but if Chubb come out and his first 5 carries, he 5 carries for 48 yards. you keep feeding him, and then you work in Woody. Like you can't go away from Chubb so early.
Mhm.
He's still effective. He's not a running back. I know a lot of people want to say he's washed up. He don't have the same burst. He clearly don't. But one thing he does is move the crowd forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think you make a good point about the running back situation there. I do think that they should continue to split the carries. I'm fine with Chubb starting the game, but Woody needs to be in there on that first third down and just
Yep.
play it on the high running back from there. Splitting carry is going to be important, especially as you only really have two dependable running backs right now,
Hmm.
because we're not sure what it's going to look like going forward. No Mixon, DP is who he is. Um, we don't want Dare getting carries. British Brooks is
Hey, hey,
um,
hey! Watch your mouth on British Brooks. I told you.
British Brooks is still a special teamer.
Hey, speaking of Dari, Doc, do you think it's something to the fact of do you think the Texans fan base, us in the podcast community, do you think we had anything to do with Dari not touching the ball again?
No,
Like,
I
what
think
you think it just happened just right as we was getting tired of it? They got tired of it too.
I think that the two turnovers for a conservative football coach said, "Hey, we got to get him out of that, Danny Barrett. I know you love him, but we can't depend on him. He getting us beat." I think they will come back to him in the season, but keep going with Woody. Keep going with
Hmm.
Chubb as much as you can.
Because I remember us saying on the show, right? I remember it was one time we was like, "Yo, we see Dari on that field again next week on third downs. It's going down. We gonna go crazy. We gonna be out there at Reliant, like we just bullshit." But I watched that next game, and I'm not saying us specifically because the whole community was saying this. It's just like all of a sudden you didn't see Dory out there no more, and I'm like,
I
damn,
think our guy Stressing, shout out to Stressing, Garrett be making some good points, and he pointed out, and I thought Barrett, Corey Barrett pointed out as well. D'Amico's growing this year as a head coach. He's seeing players that started off the year slow, and he's pulling them out of there. Damian Pierce, Dare, um, even his favorite guy, Henry To'oTo'o.
Hmm.
You saw Speed get his reps. Um, Foley Fatakasi pulled him
Right.
out of there. Tommy T came in and played a great
Hey,
game.
you making some
So
good points. Yep.
D'Amico is not going to wait on anybody at this point. So if
Mm.
you're not producing, you're coming out. CJ they said he missed some assignments. He was an energy vampire. They got him out of the building.
Yep.
So I think that they are much more
Oh, you
aggressive
forgot.
on
You forgot. You forgot Kalen Bullock too, because some of
Caleb
his
Blue.
time was reduced.
I have not seen that. I did not notice that.
oh no, okay, elaborate on that, Cal, because I didn't notice that neither.
No, they came in. Was it MJ?
MJ Stewart was a starter for CJGJ.
Oh,
I can,
CJG. Okay, I got it wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was
but
gonna say, man, but Bullock, like he ain't been doing what he was doing in the preseason.
but I did notice them play a couple of formations where Jalen Petrie was the single high safety and Bullock was up on a tight end in the slot,
Mm.
which scared me. But that tells me that they're trying to work Petrie more into the safety rotation and not so much as the star. So we really need Jimmy Ward to come back healthy and be able to
Right.
get some snaps to help out that secondary. Um,
Exactly. And I think with I don't know, I just want to speak on the fact of the CJGJ situation with Petrie. Um, behind the scenes that we heard that it could have possibly been, he that was the player that he was speaking on about. I can't believe they paid this player and stuff like that. I
yeah,
I think what he did was give, incentive for D'Amico to really make Petrie look good in his defense to show that he didn't make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you want to act like we did it, but we're gonna let you go, and we're gonna actually probably Petrie may end up working his way into that situation. But MJ Stewart played a very nice game. Quick
Yes,
question:
sir.
when we played the Jaguars, did anybody see? I can't even think his name. Y'all former 23 that used to be with us that went to the James.
Talking about Eric Murray.
Did y'all
Oh
see
yeah.
him?
Oh
He got
yeah.
knocked out by Nico. Nico
Yeah.
ran over.
Nico ran straight over him. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't even see that brother out there, man. I'm like, bro,
Oh yeah.
until the game was over with, I was like, and that's how I know I didn't see him, because when the game was over with, I'm like, I didn't even see the safety that they got from us, Eric Murray. And I'm like, yeah. So
And
he
they
didn't
talk
go out
about
there.
him being a critical free agent pickup. And I'm like, man, we shouldn't have lost to that team. But it comes back to this offense. Um, Everybody in this show knows how I feel about this scheme. But I do want to point to a couple of things that I observed this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you pointed out earlier, Nitty, that CJ made some checks at the line, got into a good play.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to have his ups and downs as he learns the offense. But what I did see is them getting to the line quicker. I saw them with more pace. I saw them convert on 3/4 downs, which I don't know when the Texans have done such. So it is an encouraging thing to see that, as well as we had pretty good. I'm not gonna say, well, let's call it schemes. We opened up some people in the flats that were wide open against this defense. Whether it
Mm-hmm.
was a bootleg, whether it was a design flare pass, or a pick route with Christian Kirk for a first down on 3rd and long. So there was some encouragement there. On the other end of that, the offense was too slow, too lethargic, uh, didn't get going until the fourth quarter. Didn't get an offensive touchdown in the fourth quarter. So that
Exactly.
brings me to my Ravens point. You asked us up top about what you predict for the game. I predict us to win, but I'm not confident until we can score offensive touchdown. The Texans have not scored an offensive touchdown on the Ravens since COVID.
I remember you said
COVID,
that in the chat, man. I was laughing.
COVID-19, 2020, and they scored one. The
Yeah.
year prior, we scored an offensive touchdown one. So we have not had a blowout, uh, multiple offensive touchdowns since Hurricane Harvey.
And this
So
is
that
this is
tells
gonna be a better coach team. Like, this is the Ravens are a better coach team than what the Titans was. Like, this ain't finna be just a pushover just because those guys are injured. So I kind of feel what you're saying, Doc. Man,
yeah.
I'm not just I'm going into this game like I see some people in the I think that was Space Age that said like talking about they better win Sunday, right? So I'm like, I feel that too, because of course, on paper, injured Ravens team, right? We should win, especially with the as many injuries as they have. But hey, y'all, there's still a game that needs to be played, because it could be a trap game for us, thinking that, hey, okay, Lamar not out there. We seen what Cooper Rush can do. I don't care what nobody say. I saw what happened when we played against Dallas. We won that game, but still Cooper was moving the ball on us. It was ridiculous. He wasn't supposed to be doing what he was doing, but he did it. So I'm a little worried, man. What about you, Cal? I mean, are you going
They
in?
scored 10. Dallas scored 10 points on us. So that's like empty calories. That's what I call it. That's empty calorie. Like all of the passing yards and all the attempts and
I,
everything.
I would know about that.
That's empty calories, man.
Empty calories.
Uh, but I think that D'Amico will have his team prepared. Like I don't think anybody in that locker room, like you have some new players in that locker room that they don't know. They know the history, but they don't feel the history of the way Baltimore He like dominated us. So I don't think CJ is going to approach this game any different. Like, oh yeah, they hurt, so we good on this one, and we go into the bye. You hope that the organization can keep them focused, and that's what D'Amico's supposed to do. Given responsibility to Matt Burke to run the defense, and D'Amico being the CEO, seeing what the offense is doing on that side, making sure everything is okay, play calling, getting out of the huddle, being precise. That's what D'Amico is supposed to do. So, like I said, that first and second quarter is going to be very pivotal to our success.
I'm
Like we
glad
we
Matt Burke.
should. What's that?
No, I was saying I'm glad Matt Burke has been calling some good plays and been calling the defense pretty good. But I honestly didn't have a problem with D'Amico calling the defense at all.
Yeah.
I thought he could be a head coach and call the defense at the same time.
But
I know
I need D'Amico to treat it as like I have to show. I don't care if it's 60-40. I think the first when he had Bobby Sloyd, he had so much trust in Bobby Sloyd that he gave a rookie head coordinator carte blanche to the whole offensive side. And D'Amico's like, I don't even want to look that way. I'm just going to go over here and deal with this. And I think that was a huge mistake. So now D'Amico's saying, I learned from that mistake. Burke, I need you to hold it down. You're going into the third year. Sometimes I'm gonna be over here, but I need you to run the film room, set up what we're gonna do for the week and everything. I give you the plans. You know what to do. You've been here for going on 3 years. I'm gonna go on this offensive side. I'm just gonna see what's going on over there. He needs to be a CEO and just not a defensive coordinator, head coach.
can
And
we
that's what's gonna make him more successful.
Yeah, I don't think this is the last time D'Amico will be calling plays, but it
Mhm.
worked Sunday. I think they'll try it again this week.
what do y'all
Uh,
think about the defense being like the number one scoring defense in the league?
they playing like it. They playing real solid defense. The pass rush is what we thought it would be.
Let me ask y'all both this question. What is the one thing in defense for somebody who didn't know, right? The one stat on your defense that you would want to be number one in, and it's indicative of you being a championship defense. What would y'all say scoring is that stat, or is it another one?
Yeah, it's also called points allowed.
Yeah,
Uh,
points allowed, my bad.
yeah, no, I mean it goes by both. Nitty.
Mhm.
Turnovers, turnovers, and sacks also
The
make you a
turnover
top defense.
differential, yeah. If you winning more like if you plus, I guess if you get more turnovers, you're in a plus category, right? So you
Right.
plus 7, plus whatever. But what do you think about that, Killer?
Uh, the one thing that I looked at is we giving up 12.7 a game.
That's our
That's
average.
12.75, and
Dang.
that's a 4 point differential of the number two defense, which is right around 16. So take this into consideration. We just cut a guy that's a Super Bowl champion, played on several, deep playoff teams, and CJGJ. And the Texans cut out a clip, gave it to the media, and said, hey, this is why we cut him. And don't think that these media people just looked at the film and say, hey, this is what CJ did wrong. No, the Texans put that out there to let because people would have been like, hey, why you cut him? Like he's like, man, it's only been 3 games. No, the
Hey,
Texans want
ain't
to
that
let you
crazy?
know.
Look, Cal, you are hitting that right on the head, boy. I honestly thought that when I saw it myself. I said, and even the other dude, like I say, his name DJ in
Be enemy.
the enemy. When he did his little story, I was like, man, that seemed like that might have been that
You
might have.
you know why I said that?
That,
Because there's no other video that has come out of anybody pointing out any discrepancies with like Kalen. Where's the Kalen Bullock videos? Where's the
Yeah,
Jalen Peter video?
we were calling all of those blown assignments Kalen Pullick's fault.
Hmm. And
We
so
in all
so
22, all of the spaces we were saying it was Bullock's fault.
Right. And the Texans let you know that, hey, we cut him, but we want to let you know. But let me digress to this.
Has he got on
When
with
he
another team?
not yet, he's probably going to try to sit back and pick a playoff team that he probably waiting for injury.
Detroit.
And he wants a contract. That's the whole thing. But I think that the reason why he didn't get contracts with these prior teams is because his locker room presence is kind of abrasive.
Yeah.
So, but let me say this: uh, even with the blown assignments and the games that we was in all three games, and the Texans let you know that if this guy was doing his assignment, we will win these games. Contrary to what the offense was not doing. Now, compare that if CJ was doing what he was supposed to do and we wasn't giving up those big plays, how good would this defense be? Because you got rid of him and then you pitched the shutout. Granted, it was Tennessee, but you pitched the shutout when you got rid of the safety.
Yep.
So I'm saying how great this defense can be. But another thing you have to look at is when you ask what other stats that you look at, uh, the touchdowns that you give up. The Texans had a very good defense last year, but they gave up a lot of touchdowns, more touchdowns than they were like. You get that total down, and you with I'm gonna tell you, offense don't turn over the ball, offense win time of possession, defense get turnovers, and you stop the other thing. And I know it's like, damn, Calvin, you do all that, you're supposed to win every game, but those are the things that a defensive minded coach wants to do. So my thing is you stop them from getting in the end zone. They can get into the red zone, but you got to be able to stop them. And so the Texans have been successful 1/4 of the year.
Hold on, right quick, man. Shout out Big Sarge, man, in the building.
What's
Hey,
up, Sarge?
Sarge say
Big
I can't
Sarge.
let that false narrative get out there. The Texans didn't feed us any information, and DJ is a film savant. He has been saying from the beginning that it was communication issues. He even asked D'Amico about it. Okay, I feel you on that, Sarge. The only reason that I was speculating that is because think about how many shoot all you got to do is have red zone and watch red zone at the end of the day when they showing all the plays and touchdowns of the day at the end. There are so many times when you're gonna see a cornerback get burnt and he's gonna turn around and he's gonna be like, what was going on?
Where
And
was
you're
my
gonna
help?
look, yeah, where was my help? You see this all the time, right? But we don't never see like and look, this makes a lot of sense. We don't see that being done on a regular where you just point out a player like that. You get what I'm saying? Because I would have believed more that CJGJ was just the way he was to the locker room just wasn't a good locker room guy. I wouldn't even point it to his play on the field as to why he got cut. You get what I'm saying? Because so many people make mistakes. Like, why couldn't it have been fixed? Why is it okay? Look on the film. You see how you made that mistake right there that day. Look, don't do that no more the next time this comes. You know, these are things that could have been fixed, but evidently, whatever he was to the team in that locker room that made D'Amico cut him, I think it led to not saying that the Texans fed them information, but it led to DJ putting out something as to saying that's probably what led to him being cut. But I don't think it was just play on the field because players make mistakes all the time. If that's the case, Bullock could be out of here, and he not. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it sounds like it was everything with him. Um, um, I think the team is fine without him. He is a good football player, but he's not really Ed Reed in his prime or not even the Honey Badger when we had him for a year. So the defense will be just fine. D'Amico doesn't really need star safeties. He really depends on the D line to bring the pressure and linebackers to make tackles. So I think that's why we saw Henry um, lose a few snaps this week, and hopefully he's working on his fundamentals and wrapping up. So when he gets back in the game, he can make more sure tackles.
I think we see more of EJ Speed.
Yeah. But I wanted to shout out Space Age. He did make a good point, and you were right. Steven Sims did have a punt return. That's why I kept saying offensive touchdown. Offensive touchdowns. We have not had an offensive touchdown since COVID, when Deshaun Watson was the quarterback. So, yeah.
Let
So
me have this rebuttal right quick. I'm not questioning DJ Enemy film savant or his film study. I just never seen him release a video about other players missing assignments so quick after the cut. That's number one. Number two, the Texans are so tight-lipped about what goes on. Like nobody, like maybe Sarge knows, maybe somebody knows. We haven't heard shit about Joe Mixon because the Texans don't talk. But why are we hearing about this guy complaining about somebody's contract? Where did that come from? Like you can't throw shit out there and be like, oh well, the Texans is a tight-lipped organization, but you see the video one week and then you see how he was acting in the locker room, or you hear how he was acting in the locker room. To me, just me being a fan, I could be wrong. Sarge got access. That's great. But if I put two and two together, I want to see the next film the next time that we play somebody and somebody blow a coverage. I want to see the film savant release a video 2 days later and show me how he missed this tackle, missed that tackle, whatever. Because I follow DJ and I follow him closely, but it just seems like when he got cut and people were like, it sent shockwaves through the community. And then all of a sudden we start seeing these videos pop up and people start sharing the videos. And then we start talking like, oh man, he was in the locker room complaining about Petrie's contract. Says who? Because the Texans don't let nothing out of their locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So I draws the conclusion from what I believe. Now, Sarge is there and he knows way more than I do. But as a fan, from what I see, that's my opinion. So I'm gonna ride with that. You know, they let him go. And if you go back and watch that game, it's another thing too. They said that he wanted to blitz more. If you go back and watch that game, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna show it to you. He started blitzing CJ GJ more, and CJ almost got to the quarterback. And he was going to the sideline. D'Amico grabbed him with the widest smile and was like, hey, man, you almost got that. CJ, they was like dapping up each other, and they was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, he had Petrie in the game, so he was dropping Petrie back, and he was bringing up CJ GJ. I was like, we're going to see more of that. CJ didn't finish the job, but that was his first time, like, blitzing. So I guess D'Amico was like, I'm tired of you freelancing. I want you to come in and blitz. I'm gonna go and show you the video, and you'll see the smile on D'Amico's face and CJ's face, and then the next day he get cut. So I can't argue nothing that I'm not in that locker room. I don't know, but it's just funny that the Texans are so tight-lipped, and all of a sudden we hear about it. Oh, he's in the locker room complaining about contracts and shit like that. So
it just seems like that's not enough to get you cut, though. But hey.
0-3 gets you cut.
But
and you know what? But you know what though? I'm gonna tell you, man. CJ GJ is a D'Amico type of guy, a guy that just goes out and play football, just hard. Like we thought the dude had a torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Week 1, he's out there, he's playing. Now he has to learn the defense and whatever, so he's freelancing. And maybe that was a point that he didn't know the defense as well as he should have known. So they point out on film study, like, hey man, like this was your assignment. You just gave up this big play. Like BTJ, you just gave up a big play, man. You put them in position to score and to win the game. And so I understand that we saw that, but we saw 3 weeks of blown coverages. After he was cut, that's when we saw the whole collage of this is why he was cut. Should have shown me that in week 1. Should have shown me that in week 2. Should have shown me that in week 3. Not 1, 2, 3 and put it together. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna stand on that and say, go ahead, bro.
It might be
I didn't read.
it might be a further deeper
Let the record show
covert operation in the Texas
like
that Sarge don't know about, man. They got some covert operations going on.
You know, Sarge is he's in the room, and I understand that. Like a lot of people get mad and angry at Sarge because Sarge has to do what Sarge has to do, and I'm not saying that he compromised in any type of way. And Sarge give us enough information for him to stay professional in that locker room to do what he does, and I respect that. And people think that he's supposed to go in and ask these, you know, hardball questions, Deontay Johnson. I get to that. Ask all these hardball questions and everything. Like Sarge still has to have a relationship. Like when the cameras are off, he got to be able to walk through that locker room and still talk to these guys. So I understand that. And he's talking to people that we would never have access to. That's why I appreciate him coming in and sharing what he knows. And me and Sarge, like we debated like so many years on the Indie Kalu show. So, you know, nothing personal, but you know, hey, that's my guy. But hey, I'm gonna stand on what I stand on, Sarge.
So
Oh yeah.
Sarge knows that when you find a player you like, you're gonna defend them to the end.
To the end.
So
No,
Nico,
you know what?
All I'm going to say is think Deontay Johnson, right? And if we are to take anything from that, we know they say Deontay had a bad attitude, right? He wanted more opportunities because he felt like he was better than certain players on the team that was getting opportunities more than him, and he probably started voicing that shit. And then they like, hey, that's not good for this locker room. So I'm willing to say this: CJGJ did something that's against that whole thing that Will Anderson talk about, that locker room, how this ain't for everybody type of thing. I think he came in speaking like an outsider. Sometimes you can come into a locker room, you can be like, yo, this is us. This is this. Bro probably talked about his Philly ring too much. He probably was like, look, I just came for winning. Bro probably was talking real crazy, bro, and probably said things that just messed up the morale of the locker room. And that's enough to get you cut. You go to fucking around with the morale, and see, we all thought that on the cool. We thought it was a morale thing, like, because we know D'Amico love this dude. So we like, for D'Amico to cut this dude, it's got to be something with morale. He said or did something that could have messed up that people may have wanted to follow suit. Like, you teaching the wrong thing right now. Like, and I think that D'Amico, instead of, just like what happened with not saying that Larry Tunsil was a problem with the offensive line, but the way how he was just to himself, they wanted the offensive line to galvanize. And so maybe CJGJ was saying certain things, man, and it wasn't good, and they had to get bro up out of there, bro. And I think that's why Sarge saying think Deontay Johnson. Like, he said something, but that goes back to what my guy Cal says. If he did say something messed up, right? How many plays how many times did we see a Deontay Johnson video come out where they were showing bad routes that he ran?
Showing drops.
Drops. I mean,
3 targets and 3 drops.
I mean, but it wasn't like how this one was though. Like it I don't know. I kind of feel what Cal's saying, man. I feel like
Cal's got a good point. It did the timing
maybe DJ
of
was
it
like
all.
saying some good riddance type shit. Like, look, you up out of here, and look, let us also kick you in the butt on the way out the door. Let us show that you've been freelancing and fucking up out here. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was a kick in the door. Maybe it was what they say.
You know what?
Hit you with a good Lord split you.
And another thing before Larry jump in, like everybody healthy. Deontay Johnson wouldn't even been on the team if Tank and Tank Dell and Diggs is healthy. And even if they were all healthy, he's number 4, which like you're just like you're really a backup. CJGJ is arguably probably the second or third best secondary player on the team. Like if you want to argue him and Locksmith is a little bit younger. But if you're looking at experience, you're looking at CJGJ. I mean, I'm always Sting is always number one. So that's kind of like an imbalance. And I understand what Sword's saying that when you become a distraction, you know, this is what we're gonna do. And Will Anderson already told you, like, I think that locker room, that defensive side of the locker room, that's Will Anderson's baby. That's his. And he noticed the only person that said that, you know, I was surprised that they cut it was CJ. Did they put a microphone in Will and Daniel's face? They probably said, "Hey man, don't even talk to me about that. Like next question, please don't ask me about that because I don't even want to address that." They didn't ask nobody. Nobody on the defense side of the ball said we were surprised. You know, it is what it is. We move on. Like they made their decision, and I think it came from the defensive side saying, "Hey, coach, we got to get this MFL out of here. We got to get him up out of here." And D'Amico was like, "Okay, well, shit, it is what it is." You know, so there's a
You
different
know,
mindset.
Aziz is the captain, so I'm sure he's the most boisterous of all of the players and getting that information back to D'Amico as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah, you got a point there. You
yeah,
got a point.
yeah. The space age got a good point. If you want to touch on that, another sore topic for Cal is Casario. You want to talk about Cam Robinson?
Why let Cam go when you're thin at the position?
I
If
like that
an
question right there. I want y'all to
if
hear
an injury happens, who do you turn to? Blake Fisher? Hell, you drafted him in the second round.
Hmm.
If he's not ready to go after a whole year and a quarter of the season gone, like we seeing what happened. We seeing Juice being able to produce. The more you play, the more repetition, the more chemistry you have with the guy that you're playing next to. Juice is playing what left guard, right? He's playing left, right?
Yeah,
So he's
rotating
right
him.
next, right. So he's right next to a rookie, and he's playing right next to Andrews, who haven't had a lot of time on the field. But you develop that chemistry. The more you out there, you develop that chemistry. And the thing about it is, if Cam wanted to go somewhere else, and I understand people say, "Well, you know, just sit him on the bench and let him go." Like Cam got paid, and you only signed Cam because you didn't know Ursery was going to be this good to command the left tackle spot. Like right now, Ursery is on his way to being a rookie first teamer. Like that, and so as bad as Nick Casario have missed on offensive alignment, that's gonna be a feather in his cap, like a small feather. But then if Juice start producing, and then you have what's the other guard? Not Tomlinson, but who's the right guard?
You
Right guard?
talking about Ingram, Ed Ingram?
Ingram. Ingram looking like he's a serviceable guard, like rating pretty high. That's gonna be able to like, okay, damn, Casario, like, okay. But you
Yeah,
gotta give Blake Fisher an opportunity. Like, I can't have a high second round offensive lineman to be redshirted for 2 years. You got to be ready to go and you fail and we move on.
Did he
But we
play
got to
a couple
find
of
out what we
snaps last
have.
game? Did he play a couple of snaps last game?
I can't
yeah.
remember. He
They
I
did?
thought
played
I
Okay.
him.
remembered. I thought I was dreaming, but I was like, hold up, is that Fisher out there? I thought somebody got injured. I was like,
Yeah,
what
they
Hey,
happened?
played him as a sixth lineman in heavy formation.
Oh, okay. That's
They've
why.
been doing that
hey,
before.
it was just pointed out by Brandon in Space Age. They did activate Trent Brown.
Yeah, today.
So where's Trent gonna be playing?
Sideline.
Well,
You don't realize
that's the reason why you let Cam go. If Trent is healthy, you let Cam go for that reason.
No,
yeah.
no. I think your first point was right, Cal. You got Blake Fisher, who is a swing tackle,
Right.
and
Okay.
Cam Robinson was your insurance policy, and you should not be paying $12 million for somebody to be on the bench. Where I do fault Casario, not for bringing in Cam Robinson because it was a good plan at first, but paying all of his salary up front and having all that dead money follow that contract that you get. And reports are that when they traded Cam Robinson, the Texans paid $9 million of that $12 million salary, which is really poor negotiating.
Very poor negotiating because I thought,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I know what's name not here, but Ninja Cow, man, our Cleveland cousin. Yeah, I was like, man, Cleveland always looking out for us.
Yeah,
Shit,
space age.
we looked out.
Casario be messing off some money, man. Y'all check that dead money off. He got people the way he did that Diggs contract.
Was
Uh,
stupid. It was
Yeah.
really stupid.
I mean, I'm not gonna go all the way in on him for that because Diggs probably said that was part of the deal in the trade that you got to allow me to hit free agency. But he didn't have to structure it that way where he moved all the money in the first year and you got 2 more years of dead money. So I think Diggs is about 16, 17 millions of dead cap this year. And he playing for the Patriots making 20, 26 million. So it's just not good cap management. Along with Trent Brown, nobody knows if he can play anymore, even though he's
Mm-hmm.
been in training camp and practice. He hadn't played in a real game in a long time. So you are really gambling by having him as a backup plan. But as a fourth tackle, I'm okay with Trent Brown. Cam Robinson, no sweat. Let him go play somewhere else and continue his career. I just have a problem with uh, the the structure, the finances of it.
Yeah, what do y'all
Mm.
think about Ingram though? Y'all think he's a bright spot doing I said this in the off season and I used to get shot down every time I said it. I said, man, I would love to see Ingram starting on that line. Y'all would be like, oh no, not Ingram. No, he was over this was in Minnesota and he was this and that. I heard one week he graded out as almost like top three
Mm-hmm.
top three guards in the NFL. And I think he's a bright spot. Other than Ursary doing his thing, and we already know Titus Howard, but I think Ingram is a bright spot, especially in that run game. I know the pass game, you know, is something to be, but his run blocking grade, I think, was like 88 or something like that. Um, hey, keep on doing that, and we won't have a problem. I mean, maybe the play action can help him out a little bit when it comes to pass pro, but
Yeah, my only offensive lineman with a bright spot is Ursary. He didn't give up any sacks from what I can tell. He
what do you
played
think
well.
about that play, Doc? The
Um,
one I know you watched it plenty of times. I know you that
you
the
mean when
millisecond sack, on CJ. What
Yeah,
was they thinking?
I'll let this Cal answer that one. I don't know what they were thinking. I think it's just terrible play design or play call or audible or whatever as a part of this New England offense. This is one of the challenges you face when you run in a different scheme or playbook every week. People don't know what to do. And I'll let Cal go to the schematic piece of it.
Miscommunication because where Simmons was lined up, he was lined up like right in the gap. So he was in between the center and the guard. And so the way that Ingram went, it seemed like it was supposed to be like zone blocking where this he hiked the ball and the center is supposed to take Simmons. You know, that's his primary blocker.
Mm-hmm.
So when Ingram goes this way and he missed the call, the CJ changed the blocking scheme. They say he didn't hear it or whatever the case may be, but you can clearly see four linemen going one way and one lineman going the next way, and he just had a clear path.
It's like he blindly did not look. Like, shouldn't you have a peripheral the way you can see?
No, because when you're a lineman and you think that he's not my responsibility, he's the center's responsibility. I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward to my right side. So my
Okay.
zone step in my first step is my right leg to go toward, the defensive tackle, the
Okay.
defensive tackle toward the end. I'm not worried about center.
Every move
I
is a calculated step.
It is
Yeah.
because if I'm worried about if it was an assignment that they're running a dive play between the zero is the center,
Hmm.
and so the right guard is two, the left guard. So you have the center is zero, the two gaps in between is the ones and the twos, and then you have the guard and both of the guards. So if they was going to run straight up the middle, that man, nobody's supposed to cross your face. So what I mean by cross your face is wherever the quarterback is sitting in the pocket, like where Ingram was, crossing my face is you're coming straight through that gap to get to the quarterback. You cannot cross my face like that. So I am supposed to, that's my primary blocking.
Hmm.
That's the person that I'm supposed to block. So it lets me know that the play was changed and he didn't get it. He just didn't just go about it himself and say, "Well, I'm just going to go this way." It was a clear miscommunication, and that's the one play that they pointed out. But the rest of the game, he was damn near flawless. But
Yep.
it goes back to the narrative, and it's a
It was
great
just so
narrative.
crazy. It was just so crazy. And I want to say
Mhm,
this, Cal. I'm the only reason I'm pointing this play out is
mhm.
because not to make the offensive line look bad, but me just as a watcher of football, I've never seen like a sack happen that fast. Like that was fast. I'm talking about it was almost crazy. So maybe, you know, I think two things that you said that can be right. Maybe CJ called the wrong protection.
No, he called the right protection, but it's clearly that one player did not hear the protection that was changed.
Oh, okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. Damn. So what? Like how do you get in a situation where I guess you just lose focus, I guess, but man, you getting paid a whole lot of money just to listen just to listen to what your
Listen to like we'll be on the spaces and shout out to EXO. EXO is a former offensive line coach.
Tick Robo fans. It was.
But here's the thing though. An offensive lineman you can have 60, let's say you can have 65 snaps.
Hmm.
And if I give up one sack and two hurries, so that means I gave up a negative play, a sack, and then I gave up two hurries. I had a horrible game, but the ball was snapped 60 times. That means 57 times I was successful. Now just think if CJ he threw the ball 40 times and he had three incompletion. He was 37 for 40. That is a damn great game. Like
Hmm.
that's one of the things that an offensive lineman, like, they can never live down because if you give up a sack, you can have a horrible game by statistics, but you can do everything else right, but they're going to remember that one sack. So when people don't understand offensive line
That's
play,
the stat that they look at.
yeah, but they're gonna look at that play and say, "Oh man, oh Ingram, get his ass up out of here, man. He don't know what the hell he doing."
I
And
think it was
didn't watch
just
the.
embarrassing. I just think it was embarrassing
Yeah, it
for
wasn't his
a
best game. He
national look.
played well this
The way that
year.
the nation already looking at the Texans O line, it just wasn't a good look. It just made it more embarrassing. Like I know that that play really didn't affect the game, but it just was embarrassing for people that's always sitting up saying like, man, Houston is not protecting CJ and this and that. And Cody Stoops, shout out Cody Stoops. He did a video the other day where he was daring. I say it was a daring title. He said the Texans O line has actually improved, right? So I would like to ask y'all, do y'all feel like that? Like all in all, where we are right now is the five that we have, that starting five. Are we better than last year?
Hit that
Hell
one,
no.
Larry.
You say hell no?
Hell no.
We had Laramie, huh?
Laramie Tunsil is a franchise left tackle. You leave him on his side, you don't have to worry about it. CJ is still not comfortable with Ursery 101 over there, which Ursery is doing fine, as we pointed out. I think he has played much better since the Rams game. Those two ends were causing all kinds of havoc. But hell, Jared Verse was giving Trent Williams the best left tackle in the game. Hell, last night too. So Ursery is just fine. I think he has a good future ahead of him. But no, we're not much talented as the line last year. They're performing a little better, and they're not the reason that this offense is not scoring. They're part of the problem. This is an overall problem. It's
Hey, Matt.
CJ, it's the line, it's the skill positions, it's the OC. Nobody is comfortable with what they're doing. The execution is off. They can't put drives together consecutively. The
Hold on.
best thing this offense can do right now is get close to field goal range and depend upon our kicker to make 3 points. So that's what I'm gonna be looking forward as we go into this week against Baltimore. I need to see touchdowns. I need to see execution. I want to see back to back to back drives of success. I want to see that we can put points on the board when needed. This team, this offense, I don't have any confidence in it. I have some glimmers of hope by seeing a play or two here and there, but I can't say that they are putting it all together yet.
That's fair. I'm gonna
Hey,
say,
oh, my bad, Cal. I'm gonna have to dip out. I got something important that I have to do. We're a little bit over the hour, like 7 minutes. I wonder if y'all can still stay in though. Is that possible? Normally,
no,
when I leave,
we
y'all normally stay in, right? It normally
Yeah,
stay.
no.
but you
But
just
you, but
left.
can you end the stream from your side, Cal?
I mean, yeah, we can end it.
No, I'm talking about. Do you see it? Do you see the control to where you can?
No, I don't see it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
what I'm gonna do.
it's just leave studio.
Now, just hold on right quick, y'all. I'm gonna step down. Y'all keep on.
Mm. Okay, you want to pick up there, Cal,
Yeah,
on the
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that the offense, the offensive line is doing better because CJ is getting the ball out of his hands just a little bit quicker. Um, we are getting to the line. We still getting to the line, not as quick as we should. CJ is not playing with a sense of urgency on every single snap, every single play. He comes out in the first quarter like, oh, we just in the first quarter. We just in the first half. Like, play with a sense of urgency, but I need that to come from Kaylee
the
because
yeah, the
all
game
I
plan.
all I heard was Kaylee had this exuberance, this excitement, this high energy. Like and when they put the camera on him, he looks to be like, I'm just here to call plays and like no, that there's no sense of excitement or whatever. Like let that bleed over to the field. So if Woody Marks continue to run the ball the way that he's running, the offensive line is going to grade better. If CJ get rid of the ball and he's not getting pressured, hit, and they pass in the rhythm, the offensive line is going to look better. So those grades, like those linemen, they do enough for CJ to get rid of the ball. Even when pressure comes very quick, you still got to be willing to throw the ball away and not look at your stats and be like, I got to hold on the ball and I got to look for the down. Like, go ahead and take the incompletion as long as it's not intentional grounding, get it past, get outside the pocket, throw it out of bounds, and go on to the next play. Do not take the sack. I'd rather have 2nd and 10 than 2nd and 18.
Yeah,
So
and that's a great point. Space Age got some heat here tonight, some real good stuff. Space Age 713, and he talked about he sees receivers getting open, which
yes,
we do see some receivers getting open in the flats. Schultz got open down the seam one time. Of course, Nico had his deep play for almost 40-yard pass play. But the
I got a
um,
question about that because
scheming
we
them
went.
open is not consistent in this play. So, what I have been doing, if you go back to the O'Brien years, they need to be in rhythm. If you can count 1, 2, 3 as you watching your quarterback drop back, by the time he hit that back foot, the receiver should be opening up, and that's not
Mhm.
happening, but maybe a half a dozen times a game. And so I think the offense can get better in that manner. I did see in this past game, that past game against the Titans, excuse me, that they did have some check downs in the flats built into most of the pass plays, which were wide open. So that's good
Mhm.
recognition and probably an adjustment that they made at halftime.
And you know what? When you speak of check downs too, you know what? I was listening to an interview with Clint Sterner, and they had Dalton Schultz on there. And Clint Sterner had pointed out that he told Dalton, he said, "Hey man, it seems like when they get you involved a little bit earlier, like I see more excitement up out of you." And I was happy that Clint phrased it in a way, but he was just letting him know that,
Like you
like,
playing soft most of the time.
right. So when they're not going to you early, you seem like, and he was like, and Clint kind of ended the interview like, "Hey man, can you get a pancake for me?" Like he was just saying, like, bro, they went to you early. Are you going to continue to be engaged in the blocking and everything else? So my thing is, if you know that and you got this guy signed and you got injuries on the tight end side, you got to find a way to get Dalton Schultz going early to get his confidence up. You know, a couple of targets like in the first half, give him 4 or 5 targets, easy outs and things like that. Get him involved and it seemed like he shows more effort. And when you were saying about the check downs, I'm excited to what Woody Marks can do catching out of the backfield because it seems like if you get it to him in stride, dude is going to make something happen. Like he has a lower base. He can make the first guy miss. And the first guy normally is going to be a linebacker coming at an angle. It's going to be a strong safety. And the way that he put his foot in that turf on that was the first or the second touch. I think it was the second touchdown. The way he put
First.
his foot in that, yeah, he put his foot in that turf and cut. And I was like, oh, okay. This is what we're missing.
And
This,
CJ delivered the right ball with the right
right.
touch out in front of him so he can catch it on the move.
So let me
So,
ask you about this pass.
well, before we move on, I want to highlight
Mm,
Woody again. I think even
okay.
during the draft process, once the Texans selected him, my comp from Woody was CJ Spiller. And so I'm
Mm.
really encouraged about what Woody brings to the table. And in fact, he couldn't have a better start, in my opinion, to what he is doing. And I know we talked about Chubb needs to remain as the starter, and I'm fine if they continue that way, but Woody will eventually become the starter.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of almost like when Aaron Foster, once he got going, it was like it's no turning back. And I think that what Woody is doing is he's showing that he can be a 3 down back because he's running hard in between the tackles, he's catching out of the
But,
backfield, and he's blocking.
yeah, his
That
pass
that
pro is
that that is the sign of a 3 down back right there. And then he's a mature guy because I think he's like 25 years old. So he's been playing a lot of football, man.
yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna, increase his workload. I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna increase Higgins' workload, and I'm really happy that they, utilizing Hutchinson a little bit more. I just think that they got enough weapons. And let me tell you something. CJ just had an interview, and I can't remember to the effect of what he was talking about. He was talking about the play calling and learning the offense. It's a new offense, and it's a lot of things we got to get used to because they was talking about
Young team, new offense. Yeah.
right. And he said that, hey, a lot of us are still young and we're used to coming from the spread offense. He said we're still young, and that's something that I hope that we kind of incorporate. He threw that out there, and I thought that was very important. Like that voice of what he was saying was that touchdown that they threw to Higgins. That was a four wide, and that was Woody Marks out of the backfield. If you get more of that, then that offense is going to start to look like what CJ is more familiar with coming out of college. What you think?
Oh, I agree. I think we should have been with a spread formation scheme, somebody that can run spread or the Shanahan offense. Um, I think that CJ has all the tools. He just needs to get comfortable. He's day by day getting more comfortable with the O line in front of him. I think that the running game that this team wants to lean on is getting showing some life, and the stats bear out that they are um, doing a little better, but
Mhm.
not something that they can lean on at this point. The only real thing that they can lean on in this offense is Nico Collins. And so we need other players to show up and become better weapons and more dependable players in the offense.
Right.
And Woody is on his way to being one of those dependable players.
Yeah.
All right. Did you get
Yep.
the email
So
from Nitty? Check your email.
yeah, I'm trying to check my email now, but I'm not able to log
Okay.
in.
Yeah. So as you doing that, you want to take the show towards the end and do score predictions for the Texans versus the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium this Sunday.
Uh yeah. Um, I'm
And
gonna say,
Cowboys.
man, what's that?
No, I was saying you made a great point about everybody that was missing for the Ravens, especially Mark Jackson. So we got an excellent chance to really come away victorious. Can the offense finally translate all of the success they had in the fourth quarter to a win in Baltimore?
Yeah, like I said, that first quarter and that first half is gonna be very important because they're so decimated on both sides of the ball that if the Texans do what they're supposed to do, like the end of the first quarter should be 10 to nothing, 14 to nothing. The end of the first half should be 20, 24, 23 to nothing. Like we should really be dominating. And that's what's going to take Derrick Henry out of the game. And I'm looking at the game to be, man, I'm predicting the score. I think this defense continue to roam. I don't think they score a touchdown. I'm going to say their final score is going to be 37-6.
Baby, baby, that would be a great day in Texan land, man. I don't have that kind of confidence in our offense, so I'm going to say 19-10.
19-10. How you get 19 points? Just one
Bunch
touchdown
of
and
field
four
goals,
four field goals.
bunch of field goals, but one touchdown, bunch of field goals. Until this team, as I mentioned earlier, and Space Age was all over it. Until they can show me they can score offensive touchdown against the Ravens, even beaten and battered as they and injured as they are, I don't have a lot of confidence in a lot of scoring here.
Okay, that's respected, man. And there's no reason why to believe that they're going to go out there and score a bunch of points because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
And like I said, they can win 60 to nothing. I still like going into the bye, I'll be satisfied. Coming out of the bye, like, okay, what are we going to do? We're 2-3 coming out of the bye. And I'm counting this game as a win because if you lose this game, and I don't want to put this out in the atmosphere, you lose this game, bro. I don't know how you bounce back from that. It's gonna be a long 2 weeks.
yeah. Well, you
So
have to
I think
yourself to being just in a dogfight to get back and win the division. The division
right,
is started off well. Jacksonville and the Colts are both 3-1, but those teams don't scare me. Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence are not scary. And the same
right.
could be said for this offense with CJ, led by CJ Stroud. So
Hmm.
I have more confidence in us taking on our division and clawing back to win it eventually. So
Right,
this game is not a make or break for me, but what a perfect opportunity. It's going to say a lot if you cannot beat a Ravens team without Lamar Jackson, though.
right. Hey man, I'm gonna go to the bull ring right quick before we shut it down, man. I
Indeed.
see I see Houston sport fan. I really think CJ will have 375, 3 TDs. This could be his breakout game this year. Maybe I'm too optimistic. I don't think so. I think CJ can put up those type of numbers, and we can go on a 2 week vacation like feeling good. Mellow Mike said, I'm thinking 23 to 10, we get 2 touchdowns. Man, that would make me really, really happy. Space Age said 24 to 21. Oh man, if they score 21 points on this defense with a backup quarterback and a trauma unit that's in the hospital, I'm not feeling too good about that. Engineer said, flush the organization down the toilet if they lose this game. Iman 45 say, will somebody get fired if the Texans lose? No. I mean, because you still got a lot of season to play. I don't think nobody get fired, but man, it'll be a long 2 weeks because we have to watch teams in our division either continue to win or hope for them to lose. So that's not a great feeling. Um, Mellow Mike said the relationship between the quarterback and the O line is falling backwards, and trusting them to catch you. The O line has to earn CJ's trust for him to get right. And
I
we'll end
agree.
with this. Nothing wrong with that, bro. 2 scores got me. That's Space Age 713. Hey man, if it's not a blowout, I am not gonna be excited. And if it is a blowout, I am not gonna be excited. I just want them to go out and play mistake-free football, score on 75% of your drives. And I'm not talking about scoring threes. I'm talking about for every drive that you have a chance to score, when you get to the 40, I want 2 touchdowns to every field goal. So, I mean, that's why I say at halftime it has to be 24-6, 27 to nothing. It has to be something like that that is convincing, and they come out and we can let Woody Marks and the rest of these guys do their thing. But this has to be a game that we put away very early, man.
Yeah, just a reminder, it was 6-0 against Tennessee
I
at
do
home.
remember. I do remember.
So
I do
our
remember.
offense is a long way from being prolific. We just need them to put up some TDs, and if they do that score that you're talking about, I will come away encouraged, and I'm going to shout and scream at all the success that we see in this game. But at the end of the day, I want this offense to keep building because to date, um, I don't see any strategy for our offense. It's like we
Mm,
only out there just to get a first down. We're going out there just to get one first down and get in field goal range. It does not
Right.
have an attacking mentality. It is just trying to do ball control, game management instead of being offensive.
Right.
So um, I know that they had some running plays this week that were like misdirection, trying to fool Jeffrey Simmons that backfired. They tried to trap him. They tried to uh, do some trickery on him, but um, I needed to be a more prolific offense before I get confidence in what we can do offensively.
Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. But hey, man, man, we finna go back to the bull ring and we're gonna shut this down. So let's see what we got here, man. Hold on one second. I don't have the sound effects that old Nitty
Right
have.
there at Brandon, better be 33-13. He
What
said
do you
need
got?
to drop 40 on the Ravens defense.
Okay, 33-13. Yeah. Gonna be excited if it's a blowout because at least we know we can deal with their scheme. That scheme ain't gonna mean a whole lot when you don't have four participants. But I get what you're saying, man. You take what you can get. More Noel, less Kirk. Kirk is still pretty injured. You can tell that he's not extending his body, fully.
Agreed.
Mellow Mike said Kirk hasn't impressed me as a vet. I see more Higgins. Yeah, Higgins have to get more time. I
Higgins
agree
go
with
ahead.
that. Yep. And D'Amico has allowed the offense to open up with his game management. It has been a trust that the defense mentality since this year, ultra conservative game plan. I agree with that. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and go down to the bull ring. We got Dorso 94. You got something you want to add right quick?
Big shout out. Big shout
Oh,
out to everybody in the bull ring. Go
okay.
ahead.
Hey, shout out to T Jones, Miss Liz, Pat and Mom. Space Age 713, Brandon Hallam, he's in here. Thomas. We got Space Age. Brandon came in here several times. Hey, we appreciate you every time you come in. Space Age. Hey, y'all represent very heavily, man. So we appreciate y'all a lot, man. Um, I did say Darso, but Space Age, Brandon, and Darso, y'all was in there heavy, man. Let's see who else we got. Engineer came in. Engineer says Stroud went to the Joe Burrow School of Sacks. Aren't a bad thing. Okay, I got that. Mellow Mike, as usual, always a great participant. Houston sports fan. I read your quote. That was a great point that you made. DQ was off in here. He said 31-2. I like that one. I don't even want to get him two. So, but I get it. And I think that's where we're going to end it at right there, man. So, hey, man, any final thoughts that you want to bring up?
No, I just want to thank y'all again for having me on, man. It's always good fun, therapeutic to be on here to get some of our Texans anxiety and talk to the Texans community, especially the bull ring, and have fun with the crew.
No, for sure, man. So yeah, man, we always appreciate you having on, and shout out to Nitty, and shout out to Patton. Patton's out there, taking care of business, and shout out to you, Doc. Love the monologue that you sent. Hey, we need more of that, man. That was some great stuff, man. So right now, man, we're just gonna log off, and hey, man,
Like, share, and subscribe.
yes, sir, man. So hey, we out of here, man. Peace.
Peace. Still ticking.
Yeah, I can't log off, so let's go ahead and
Okay.
just shut it down. Let's just shut it down.
Okay. So let's both exit. If we both exit, if you want to wrap some more, we can come back in after we exit.